Hi, this is Greg Robinson from myphotographyshow.com, and I'm here right now to critique this image, which comes from Mary, entitled Geese. She said that she really wanted to get this when the water was melting, but it froze overnight, so she used a free Photoshop plugin, which I find a very nice effect, Mary. Well done on that. And she would like to use this for the State Fair, which is all black and white this year. Would this be a good pick? Well, I would say for starters, yes, Marie. Now, I'm going to have to critique it and help you out on this so that you can really get all your chances together, okay? Let's try and help you get it to win, or at least get in third position this year. I don't know, I can't guarantee anything. I'd just like to help you out. So the three stages of how to critique this image. First off, we'll have a look at the settings. Second, we'll have a look at composition, and then I might be going into how you could probably modify and better the image, okay? So let's start off with the settings. As you can see, Mary used 100 ISO, which was a very good idea because, as usual, 100 ISO enables you to get the most out of your camera's image quality and colors, which doesn't really apply in this image, but at least you've got the best quality and the less noise possible. Your shutter speed was 1/500th of a second and your aperture was f/8. Now, one advantage of using f/8 is that you get the most out of your lens's quality, which is very good. On the other hand, is this really the aperture you were looking for this type of image, or did you need that much depth of field? Now, given that you added the water with the Photoshop plugin, I don't really think it matters too much. So I would have maybe suggested isolating your subject by using f/5.6, which would have brought your shutter speed to 1/1000th of a second, so it's very bright that day, wasn't it? But that's about it. That's all I have to say about your settings. Otherwise, great choice. You could have even brought it down to f11, which would have given you 1/250th of a second, which was a great shutter speed as well for handheld anyway. You were fine on that. Now, let's move on to this image. The only problem I have here is these geese are kind of going to slap into the edge of the image. That's the only problem I have. They seem to be running into nothing or running into a wall. It would have been more interesting to have them running the other way around. Now, how could we do such a thing? Given that you have already created this water with the Photoshop plugin, you can probably change the original image the way I'm going to do it right now. Now, what I'm going to do is simply cut out these geese here, roughly. Okay, I'm going to do this very roughly. So I'm going to use a copy and then just simply flip them around to about this, okay? That way the geese, oops, sorry about that. That way the geese seem to be running in the opposite direction. Now, what's interesting with that is that they have space to move towards to now, and what's even better is they're going from left to right, which is easier for the reader to read the image, for the viewer to read the image, sorry. What you can do after you've flipped it, I'm just doing this very, very quickly, is you get a very big brush, something like that, and basically paint out the rough edges that I've got here. Obviously the geese are coming back into the image, but you get the idea. Then you just make it smaller here, and there we go. Whoops, just keep with the brush, just want to change that and something like that, okay? So your image starts looking a little more interesting in the sense that the geese have space towards to run to. Okay, so it's a little more interesting. Another thing that could be done here would be to better the levels to get a bit of texture in the background there. Either you get rid of it completely or you add some. If you have a look here, you just pump up your blacks a bit, and then you've got a bit more texture in the back. Obviously you have to get rid of all the rest where it shouldn't appear. Or you can get rid of it by making everything much whiter, like that, diminishing the contrasts a bit, but that might change your geese, so you'd have to have a look at that. You'd have to play around with the image. Whatever the case, you'd have much more chances of sending a picture in like that to your State Fair. Get the geese to run into something where they can go to. You know, it's always the same example I put is if you have a look at webcam. If I'm here looking like this, I'm hitting a wall right here, whilst if I talk like that, you've got all this space around me which is kind of open, you know, I'm breathing. That's what you need. You need to give your subject space to breathe, okay? So there we go. I hoped you liked this critique. I hope you're going to get at least a good position in your state fair. Keep us informed anyway. For you other listeners, I hope you learned something throughout this little critique. It's now your turn to send me your images and I'd love to critique them. Don't forget to, find us on Facebook, My Photography Show. Find us on Twitter, because on the Facebook and the Twitter we have we have many different activities that we're going to propose, so just follow us on Facebook and become our friends on Twitter, or like our page anyway. And please send us some photos for us to critique. We're here to help you. Thanks a lot and hope to see you soon.